What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. In the movie Back to the Future, you get in the DeLorean and you go back to Hill Valley in the 1950s. And they show you that it is a much better Hill Valley. The city was cleaner and safer and more pristine, and the houses were filled with happy families, and so on and so on. It was sort of a time capsule to show you that this was just a better America, a better time. I didn't live through the 1950s. I was raised in the 1990s. And if people were to ask me what I would put in my time capsule to show you that the 1990s were a better time than today, I would put this in there. This is something that kids today will never, ever see or experience, sadly. The official dollar menu at McDonald's, the greatest dollar menu in the history of the world. For 4 or 5 greasy dollar bills, you could literally feed your entire family. Dessert included. This is a feat, and actually a historic feat. You know the McDouble had 22 grams of protein? So at $1 and 22 grams of protein, the McDouble is the best... is what's called scientifically the cheapest and best food ever created. The single most nutritious, best food, pound for pound, ever created on Earth, the McDouble. So this is what McDonald's had created back when we didn't have rampant runaway inflation. And Milton Friedman tells us that there's only one institution that creates inflation, and it's the federal government. The federal government spends too much money. And they do so on really stupid things. And what does that do? What are the effects of that? McDonald's price menu has increased by over 100% in the last decade, according to a study. By the way, I mean, I'm not saying that you should eat McDonald's every single day. I'm just saying that when I was broke ass in college and I had $0, and I do not come from a rich family, and I was raised on a farm, this was the best way for me to eat. When I was putting myself through community college and putting myself through state school, University of Iowa. McDonald's prices have doubled over the past decade, according to a shocking new study. Price increased by 168%. Oh, no. Like, what does this do to people who need to eat off the McDonald's menu? Once again, you used to be able to get one of the most nutritious sandwiches on earth for $1. Now, the average menu item costs 40% more than it did 4 years ago. 4 short years ago. Americans are choking on the surging fast food prices. I can't justify the expense, says one customer. It's one thing to be really upset at the prices at the McDonald's that you go to. It's a totally different thing to not even have the option to go to McDonald's. And this is what's happening all throughout the state of California. I mean, we are covering this every single day. There's a new fast food franchise, a beloved fast food location and franchise that is being forced to shut down once again, not because there's no customers. That's a totally different story. Oh, you put a McDonald's in a bad location and nobody wants to eat there. Or you put a restaurant in a place that just doesn't have the kind of traffic that it used to, and so you have to shut the door. There's just no demand. There's no supply and demand. This is totally different. This is the government interfering and intruding on the free market, California forcing a $20 minimum wage, that breaking the back of franchisees who are just barely getting by in an inflationary cycle right now where you already have to jack and ratchet up all of your prices, and then you get things like this. The closure of a franchise that's been there for 30 years, a beloved franchise, McDonald's restaurant shutting down in San Francisco because of the catastrophic minimum wage. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Scott Rodrick. He's the owner of the San Francisco McDonald's that has been there for 3 decades. It's a beloved location, and he posted a letter to his customers saying, "I'm sorry, we can't do it anymore." Dear McDonald's customer, on June 23rd, 2024, this restaurant will be permanently closing. It's been a pleasure of my entire team to serve this neighborhood over the last 30 years. We are thankful to have been part of your daily routine, Egg McMuffin in the morning, or a Happy Meal for the kids in the afternoon. Oh, it's heartbreaking. All the valued team members have been offered opportunities at other McDonald's. We hope that you will continue to visit us at our neighborhood McDonald's restaurants, or you can have it delivered via digital app, but it's not the same. The owner said that the reason was the insane rent that is charged in San Francisco for a business operating and the $20 minimum wage for fast food workers. That strained the location and accelerated the cost of doing business there to historic levels. So this is what the operator has said in his note and to the press. Customers, of course, are completely and totally shocked at the closure of this location. Listen to them complain to the local media.
Been at San Francisco State University just across, so I've been coming here since around maybe 2002, 2003.
I'm really disappointed to hear that.
Oh, I'm disappointed.
More so for my mom than for me, because she dearly loves McNuggets, and this is one of the few places close enough for me to bring her.
The fast food.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Look at this lady. Look at this lady right here. Do you think that this lady has ever voted for Donald Trump? Lady, you voted to close down this McDonald's. You voted for Democrats. You voted for Democrats your entire life. You'll keep voting for Democrats. And you'll never stop. You'll never stop until every restaurant and every store is closed everywhere. And it's so unsafe you can't exit your home. This lady is the problem. The cognitive dissonance to connect the two. Oh, I voted for Gavin Newsom and Democrats, and they jacked up the minimum wage way beyond what the free market is willing to pay, and so now all the stores are closing. Now I'm sad. Like, the inability to connect those two things, it's so enraging. There's the note that they left to the customers. And here's some more customers complaining.
The cost of operating a business is accelerating at historic levels. Fast food restaurant off of 19th Avenue is packed with people in the final hours of operation. Many saying the mall just won't be the same without it.
It's drastically changed over the years, but this is one of the more heartbreaking changes that I think they're making.
Because this is one of the places we can hanging out together. So now we don't know where we can go.
Yeah. The franchisee.
Vote for Trump. Put on a MAGA hat. Vote for Trump. He was just in San Francisco. He raised historic amounts of money. Vote for Trump. I can sit here and mule and complain about it day and night, but let's listen to the actual franchise owner talk about what's occurring here, because it's really important to actually hear from the guy who decided to shut down the store. Why did you shut down the store? Here we go.
California's $20 minimum wage went into effect on April the 1st. A new study shows it has led to price hikes and less foot traffic. California McDonald's franchise owner Scott Rodrick returns to us now. Scott, you were on our show in April. How have things been going since then?
Well, good morning, Stuart. Well, obviously, the strain on my family-owned business is now very real and quite clear. It's not just the overnight 25% increase in wage that took effect in April, though that bad legislation is obviously the greatest cause of the strain. It's all of the trending higher costs in operating my business in California: backdoor food and paper, insurance, utilities, and third-party service providers. Literally, the ugly hand of inflation is impacting both sides of my front counter. I know there's been a lot of talk in the industry about cutting staff positions or reducing hours, but I'm in the people business, and that business so happens to sell hamburgers. So I'm going to do everything that I can to grow my business, not recede and disappear.
Has your profitability is shrinking? Is it?
Well, I think that's a complicated question. It's an excellent question to ask. It's a little bit too soon to determine what the impact of margins have been based on the $20 wage. There's a lot of entropy happening in the space right now in the restaurant business, not only in California, but across the country. People are dining out less, and they're spending less money when they dine out, all as an impact of inflation. So obviously, I'm closely monitoring margins in my business, which were already tight pre-$20 wage. And again, for me, the path is not to reduce staff. My personal path in my own organization is to grow market share, to build the top line, because it allows me to provide a livelihood for my family and the hundreds of employees that count on me for a job.
I understand that McDonald's is experimenting with a $5 value meal. My question is that sustainable? Can franchisees like yourself, can you afford it?
Well, I'm only one of about 2,500 independent franchisees under the arches. This particular franchisee is interested in driving my market share. I mean, for 45, 50 years that my family's been in this McDonald's business, we've worked very hard to find the best approach, the sustainable approach to presenting value. It's been at the core of what the brand has stood for. So you will see a lot more aggressive, focused value campaigns to not be a part of the inflation problem, but to be part of the solution that our customers on our side of the counter are demanding in our restaurants.
So long as you can keep it going over the longer term. Scott Rodrick, always a pleasure. Thanks for coming back to us. See you again real soon. You have a great weekend, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You know, you really feel for these people because they're just small business owners. They're like the definition of just small business owners. This is not a particularly luxurious business, you know, nor is it actually like just sitting back and investing in a hedge fund. Like, you're actually providing a service for people. So there's great dignity in all of it. You're feeding people. It's like I was fed by a McDonald's franchise when I needed food in college, and it's criminal. It's criminal what they're doing to them. It's called a command economy. It's what collapses all Soviet and communist states. It's what collapsed the Soviet state when supply and demand are not equal, are not matched, right? When the government steps in and says, we know better than the market, so we're going to ratchet up this supply or close down this demand. They mess with the actual fabric of the universe and human nature itself. And it always has destructive ends. It always ends badly. And it's ended badly like this. Will these people vote any differently? No. And that's the thing that's so annoying. Like the pot of boiling water and the frog. They are the little green frog. And well, the water boils eventually. So careful. You can get hot in there. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.